When Professor Kamenker gave him his speaking slot Wednesday, he did what any good college student, or Toastmaster for that matter, would do and utterly procrastinated until the last moment. As one of our newer members of Toastmasters, he's jumping into the club full bore. Winter Park Toastmasters means something different to all of us. We are all here for a reason. Here to share his reason for being here with us, please welcome Toastmaster Will Hamman with his speech titled, Why This Club Matters to Me. Will Hamman.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. When I joined this club in early July, I never imagined how quickly it would have a positive impact in my life. Within the last few weeks, I've begun to find my voice. I feel more confident in myself and less fearful. While I begin to reap the benefits of this club, I'm working tirelessly to make sure these gains are permanent. Sometimes I find myself slipping into bad habits. Fear, doubt, apprehension to practicing appear. When I drift towards these unsavory practices, I find chaos in its wake. I'm here to talk about a recent experience where I let fear govern me and how I plan to overcome that hurdle with the help of the club. Recently, last month, I filed a lawsuit against UCF seeking judicial intervention on a novel area of Florida sunshine law. For the last 7 years, I've been battling UCF in every level of state and federal court, but this was the first time I would get to speak before the judge legally. I was scared, and I absolutely bombed. I was not the confident young man that I present myself before the club. I was a scared, tongue-tied child. I let fear enter my mindset before the hearing, and I beat myself before it even began. By the time opposing counsel appeared, the blood was running from my face. I felt lightheaded. I was scared. I let them win. At any moment, I felt like my world would come crashing and crumbling underneath me. An attorney from a top law firm and the vice president of legal affairs for UCF absolutely mopped the floor with me. Now, you all are a little older than I am, so I guess you guys have heard of a guy named Michael Jordan, right? Good basketball player? It was like Mike was playing to win against a kindergartner, and I was not coloring inside the lines of the court. I was not able to confidently convey my arguments to the court. Instead, I was stuttering and bumbling, almost like Forrest Gump. All of a sudden, I heard those words, motion denied. I was back at square one, and UCF was left rightly confident. I left that Zoom meeting in anger, frustrated mostly at myself for not preparing, and allowing anger and frustration to appear into my brain when I needed to be fearless. Over the next few days, my anger would grow to a boil. I was angry at the world for letting me fail. Eventually, I came to the realization that anger would get me nowhere. If I wanted to succeed, I would have to pull myself up by the bootstraps, quickly regroup, and figure out a way forward. I came to some realizations. Speaking before a judge is just like speaking before the club. You need time, focus, preparation. When you're trying to speak before the club, you want to hold everyone's attention. When you're speaking before a judge, you desperately want to hold his attention. Now, the court doesn't offer trophies. They give out orders. And I pursue a positive order more so than I pursue a trophy. And I do like trophies. If I prepared for my hearing like I prepared for my icebreaker that I gave 2 weeks ago, I would have been more effective. In the time that I've been in this organization, I've watched my confidence and ability grow, but I've also watched my mindset grow. When I got sick at 16, I developed a closed mindset. It began to hamper every effect of my life. I'd find my mindset going negative when I was driving to school, going to class, trying to talk to girls. Everything became negative. I was quickly and visibly becoming a negative young man. The one that you kind of tell your kids, I wouldn't go near him. He's trouble. When I first got invited to the club, I simply came to appease Professor Kamaker. I had no expectation of finding a home. I had a closed mindset even while I was walking up, and I could feel that just growing on me and trying to do untold damage to my future in the dark, in the night. The first meeting I came, I was immediately enthralled, and I realized that you all were people that I wanted to learn and grow from, that would benefit by coming here every Friday, and instead of sleeping to noon like a normal college student would. I fall more in love with the club each week as I realize that the growth that I've always seen possible for me is slowly coming true. I came to appease Professor Kamaker. I'm here to learn and grow. Toastmaster preparation has come into every facet of my life. I'm now using a day planner. I find myself writing outlines for conversations, taking notes for phone calls I have coming up. I'm confident in my skin, knowing I can think quickly in table topics, and I've even started torturing my poor parents by making them give me table topics randomly throughout the day. My parents have probably found out more weird stuff about how I think in the last few weeks than, I feel for them. I've started reading books out loud, forcing myself to figure out words that I was uncomfortable with and throwing myself out of my comfort zone. This comes from confidence. The confidence comes from Toastmasters. Toastmasters isn't just a club, it's a way of life. A courtroom is higher stakes than a Toastmasters meeting, but at the end of the day, they're kind of really the same. How well you do in a speech comes down to how well you practice, how well versed you are, and how relaxed you are going into it. How well you do in a courtroom comes down to how well you practice, how well versed you are in the subject matter, how relaxed you are, and, well, of course, the law. Lost my cards. This is what happens when you have a speech, when you have to write a speech in 2 days. In light of my new discoveries, I'm eagerly practicing to speak before the court. As you see, it's still a work in progress. This coming Monday, I'll be speaking in short matters, presenting a motion to file a supplemental complaint. This time, through the preparation that Toastmasters has given me, I'm proud to say that I get another bite at the apple, and I will confidently say this time, William Hamman, pro se litigant, in case number 2023 CA 014-204-0. Thank you.